This is where I love to butt in.
Guess you can't lose it, I can never find.
I also think that great advice gets lost if it's the wrong time.
Dialogue over drama?
Hey kids, welcome to episode 79 of Dialogue Over Drama. I am Dialogue Danny.
And I'm Courtney Drama.
And we are an age gap couple that loves to focus on communication. We've been together a decade plus, and we just love talking in natural dialogue. So that's what we're about. So today we get into influencers and how Courtney's the best influencer in the world.
Yep. With a whopping 500 followers.
So we're going to get into that. But you know what? We're going to do a little mental exercise for you. Okay.
All right.
So we're going to do, we're going to work on your empathy and just your thought. Okay.
Okay.
So we're going to talk about, we're going to get into influencers today. And there was one point where I wouldn't say I was trying to be an influencer, but I was trying to use a platform to try to vent through something I was going through. So I'm still working at my previous job, and it's right near the end. I'm going through, just struggling, trying to figure out who I am. Because I've been in a relationship with you at this point, probably 4 years. I don't know how many years I would have been with you when I started doing this thing.
Yeah, probably.
And I was working at this shop, and I had a lot of free time, so I started putting pencil to paper and started writing down what I thought and just kind of wanted to throw it into something artistic. Mm-hmm. So this is kind of from my brain, from this little world that when I originally showed it to you, you were a very not in therapy yet, you could care less. You were cute. That was your response to all of it. So I'm sure if I were to beg you right now to recall anything from these videos, what I'm going to do is they're broken up into sections. So I think I'll do 1 or 2 sections and just get your vibe, and then we'll do it next week.
Okay.
It'd be something we'll do in the intros. Here we go.
It's a strange thing to talk about. It always has been. In my teens and early 20s, it was something to be ashamed of, and now it's trendy to have a social or mental problem. I've played a lot of roles over the years to hide what I'm feeling. A full-on wannabe youth pastor, or even had a Christian band. The wounded dark singer-songwriter. The cover band rock star/entertainer. And now Sam Heller. This year comes with a lot of life changes, and I knew that would be hard on my mental welfare. This year will force me on a tightrope of either holding it together or a calling the king's horses type of situation.
So, now looking back, so this is how many years ago? Let me see here. Let me get a date on this one. So this was 7 years ago. Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts, just hearing that right off the cuff?
Well, the trend hasn't ended.
No shit, eh?
No. There's always something to have, some sort of label. It's interesting, because, this actually, we would have been get together for 2 years then at this point.
Yeah.
So, definitely a long ways.
Well, no. It'd be,
if that's 7 years ago.
So, we're going on 7 years ago.
Oh, wow. We were together about 5-6 years then.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen. She's the one that controls your money.
Yeah, okay. You were going through some stuff.
Okay, you ready? We'll do that in just a second, little section.
I knew I needed something to keep me focused on the brighter side of life. I can't trust my emotions. They have always let me down. Now, how does that relate to this? Easy. Write what you know. So I'll tell you my facts about my mental health. Nobody else's, just my facts. So in all honesty, it is what it is. Folks who know me would have a hard time understanding that I have any kind of mental illness, especially anxiety. But I, more than anything, enjoy being in front of an audience. When I think about it, it's my anxiety that put me up there in the first place. Everybody loves an entertainer, so I feel safe playing that role. Getting to the stage and when I get off it is a totally different story. But this project isn't about my music or me entertaining. It's about me being honest with myself. I need to do something productive, as well as a way for me to communicate the thoughts I have on mental illness based on what I've experienced in my life and observed in others over the years.
I mean, it makes sense. It's like that whole, you know how like comedians, they're like, oh, if I make jokes that I'm fat first, then no one can hurt me.
Bingo.
So you being in the world of like, well, if I'm the entertainer and I make everyone laugh and everyone happy and control the room, then I predict the outcome, which will be everyone will like me. And if everybody likes me, I won't be picked on. I won't be beat. I won't be, you know, kind of broken down.
Bingo.
And it's like you're being an entertainer is like your mask of all the other shit.
Yep. Yeah. So I'm thinking, yeah, we could go through that a little bit in each intro. Mm-hmm. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I like it. It's interesting. Also, like your voice sounds so different now than then.
Oh, because I'm using it, the way I'm talking?
That's just the sound of your voice. Like, it's funny as you age, just how voices change. I listen back to how I sounded as like my younger years or even a few years ago. Like just, I don't know.
There you go.
You just sound different.
You want to do one more before we go into the other one?
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess I'll start at the beginning. I was born in Toronto, Canada, to loving parents. In less than 2 years, I'd have my best friend and little brother, Maddie. It was around the time I was 5 my family started living in the city I now call home, Hamilton, Ontario. My mother suffered from OCD, mainly hand washing. In the late 80s and early 90s, the cure was just a shitload of pills, most of which they had no clue the long-term effects, or the short-term for that matter. Every new and improved pill combination had a different outcome. In grade 3, they diagnosed me with ADD and thought it was best for me to attend a special learning difficulties class at a school that was on the other side of the city. Back then, those types of classrooms had kids with Down syndrome, Asperger's, autism, and a healthy helping of kids with varying degrees of what we now know as mental illness.
Okay, I have so many. I'm sorry to laugh, only because this time it's a video. I mean, I know we're just listening to it, but the video of it has changed as well. So I'm looking at your facial expressions, which is bringing me back to like kind of who you looked like, what you looked like, and who you were back then. And with everything that you're saying, there's so many things that come to mind right now. One is you have a lisp.
I know,
but you don't really have a lisp now.
There you go.
Second thing is with the whole like being an entertainer and just even the way that you're speaking.
Yeah.
And then especially because you're talking about how like you were brought up where it was like you definitely were a smart kid. You thought differently. Your brain worked different, but you were smart. And then you were put into this kind of like special group because they just deemed you as like dumb. And I know you get into it more, but it was just this whole battle with your dad with like, do you go to private school and we advance you? Or you're now also acting out as a kid because like kids that are bored or too advanced, they act out, right?
Right.
But then I look at just how you're holding yourself together here, and it's like the way that you talk is very much like I need to make sure that people believe this entertainer, believe this act. And at the same time, I see so much less confidence in this person than I do now.
Right.
But the level of confidence that you have now has allowed you to let your guard down, that you don't sound anywhere as tight as the person in that video.
Right.
Because it's like, I think in there, you were so concerned what people still thought about you. You had to make sure that you were, like, the way you speak was so clear. But I don't really feel the confidence in you. And then the confidence now, you're just like, I don't care if it takes me 8 different ways or if I mess up my words or whatever. You still get your point across. You still have the entertainer and the charisma.
Right.
But you kind of sound now as a person like, you know, schmackety, a little bit like looser on the ends, which is not a bad thing.
No, not at all.
Because like that, I'm like, oh my God, you should be a professional speaker the way I listen to you talk there. Oh my God, you know, but no real confidence.
Wait, if I lock down because I'm reading right now.
No, I know, but it's just bringing me back to like just who you were at that point in time, and like, yeah.
All right, so we'll do the rest of that.
I'm gonna like play therapist and like dissect it all. And, like,
yeah, absolutely. That was the whole idea.
Yeah,
so I figured that'd be fun for you. Okay, let's change the channel.
Well, I think I just lost my mind. I guess you can't lose it. I can never find.
So, you have no clue what I'm about to talk about. And
No, because you left me on a cliffhanger on the last
I did. And
episode.
I'm not going to get into the nitty-gritty on how it related to the end of the episode, but this is just what I want to talk about. I want to talk about the fact that about 2 weeks ago, I have no clue how well it's doing now, but you had posted something on one of your social medias, on your personal social media, and you were getting some great traction. Mm-hmm. And you were very, very into it, and you were telling me about the comments, and you were telling me about how like you were going back and forth talking to people and how you absolutely loved it. One of your things that you've always done from the time I've met you is you wanted to be one of these things called an influencer. Mm-hmm. And I want to talk about the influencer world and how little it makes sense to me and how fucking ridiculous it is to me.
Okay.
And I just kind of want to get into it. Mm-hmm. So I want you to tell me why it is an important role in our world today. The influencer culture.
Like in your and I world?
No, in you just explaining why it is such an important thing to you. Like you've had this feeling for like 12 years.
Oh, of wanting to be an influencer?
Why? Like what do you think the purpose is served by that? Like, so like I'm an entertainer because it entertains people and that's what's going on.
Right.
But influencer is such a big, bold term and has to have way more meaning. Mm-hmm. So I'd love to know your thoughts on it because you've talked about it for over a decade. Mm-hmm. So explain it to me because you have to have some kind of semblance of what it is and what it means.
Mm-hmm. So the sole purpose of why I wanted to do it and be that person years ago is not the sole purpose today, but is definitely still part of it.
Right.
And that is just the attention, the vanity, the feel-good feels about good comments. And I know there's a lot of trash and shit out there too. But with the small engagement I do get on videos, typically I get a lot of supporting women.
Right.
That's the stuff that I love. I love that attention and that encouragement.
Right.
And I love the dialogue of it as well. But yeah, my sole purpose was just like, I want attention.
Right.
Now, as I've gotten older and I've also started to realize that like, when I'm calm and comfortable and like regulated, I am pretty funny. Like when I'm in just my natural state, and I'm funny in like the stupidest of ways. Like I make you laugh because I'm sometimes missing part of my brain, right? Yep. Like there's that side of it where it's like, okay, I definitely have entertainment to bring.
Right.
So then it still has I want the attention, I want to be seen. I also, because I feel like I have something funny, I get to connect with people. But then the other added element is, as the rise of influencers over the last couple decades, the last decade, especially during COVID, I look at the income that people can make by it. I look at the brand deals. I look at, all of the PR boxes and people reviewing things. And I'm like, wow, that's actually a way to make money. Like you get to make funny videos and someone will pay you for it.
Right.
And that idea of like having unlimited creativity, branding yourself as a person, which again, not to have this be the fourth episode we talk about values, but one of them being in my work category when I had talked about just authenticity, because to being an influencer, I think, especially now, like it takes work. Like for the people that didn't get...
Does it take work or authenticity?
Both.
Or both, equally?
I think it equally takes both. Okay. Because I look at the content that I make now just for fun, where I feel like I'm being authentic, I'm being fun, I'm being cute, I'm being quirky, I'm being silly, I'm trying to be relatable. And then anytime I'm relatable is when my posts do the best.
Right.
Obviously. But then the work, again, for the people out there that aren't authentic, the work definitely comes from writing that algorithm right and hitting all the trends and this and that. But then there's the part of me that feels like, yeah, sure, there's this rule or this game that you have to kind of play, but I feel like the people that are authentic tend to just naturally do better.
Right.
Because it's just not being washed in with all the other shit.
Right.
So I like that side of influencing.
Interesting.
Yeah. And I also just feel like in my daily life, I can't go anywhere with someone saying, I love your skirt. Where'd you get it from? Or what is this? Where'd you get it from? And it's just like, I love shopping. I love all these things. So I feel like being an influencer allows me to have the dopamine I need and fuel the shopping addiction.
All right. Okay.
But at the cost of the viewers or the PR packages.
Buckle up.
All right.
You ready?
Yeah.
So here's my view on influencers.
Wait 1 sec though. Do you believe my answer?
I do, and I gave you just enough rope to prove my point.
Okay.
So My theory is this. So I think when it comes to influencing, you have this weird, like, made up ball of who you are. So, like, you want authenticity. You're someone who's wanting to maintain a great apartment, wanting to still have your friends that you're going out with, wanting to, like, go out and see cool things, wanting to go out and, like, but you're still working your job and the struggles with work and everything. And that's really authentic and that's great. The problem lies with me when it comes to influencers is you're someone that gets up, works a 9 to 5, still does all of her fun stuff, but still needs to struggle to be able to do the things you want to. And that's what makes you an influencer in your own right, is you are someone that you spend so much time and you're so dedicated. But once you're done work, you do all these cool art projects. You, like, take people out, you find cool places to go with, like, your sisters, like, and you love creating content there. That's all great. The problem is once that becomes something that you're, like, sponsorship deals and you're, like, going that way, and then it becomes like something that you can do to make money, that you're like, I want the money, I want the money, I want the money, I want the money. And, like, the thing, now you're not relatable. And you spend so much time trying to act like you're still relatable and trying to remember what it used to be like to work a 9 to 5, but the authenticity is going to go away. And that's what happens to every fucking influencer. You follow them well, like they're a real person. And then now we've created these individuals called influencers that, like you said it yourself, vanity and money play into it. Where authenticity's there, where authenticity's the first thing to go when it comes to influencers.
Right.
Always is.
Yeah.
So therefore, what you're doing is, how many sad, sorry influencers do you see that you used to watch like 5 years ago that you see them now just trying to grasp at anything because they've just completely lost touch with real life? That's the number one thing that happens to influencers. Yeah. I think it is just detrimental to society because now you have people that are just trying to act like they're in real life when they're not.
It's funny you said that. So there's I can't remember his Instagram or TikTok handle off the top of my head. But one of the reasons that I followed this person was because he would film corporate office 9 to 5 content.
Right.
And it was all about your 9 to 5 and your 5 to 9 and your 5 to 9 a.m., p.m., whatever. And, oh, I get time off on the weekend. And, oh, here's a day in the office and here's a day at home. And although we never found out where he actually worked because he kept, the privacy and all that, you always knew he worked in a cubicle. You'd see him commute in his car and all that. But there was something about that content that was relatable because I also work in office,
Absolutely.
9 to 5. And so I started following. Well, that content alone got him so big to the point that he started making money and getting sponsorships and brand deals and stuff like that, bless him for, on top of the office 9 to 5, sharing personal parts of his life, because he'd be like, here's me coming home and then making dinner for my wife and blah, blah. And then they had a kid. But because he was doing so well, he was able to quit his job.
Right.
So now all of his content is about being a stay-at-home dad. His wife, I think, still works. But he's like, now look at me, I'm a stay-at-home dad. And this is like a day in life. Well, I'm like, well, now you're losing and you're going to gain different followers too. But now that content's not relatable to me anymore because although I aspire and I would love to have that life, you've just shortened in this economy. You've just shortened that window of real authentic people that you can relate to. And you're now just finding people that are also influencers that can relate to you. So I know that. But the thing is, right now, my content isn't anything about work.
No,
so
I know that.
If the content I currently make right now is about my DIYs and my art and, like I said, spend a weekend with me and here's a new coffee shop. If I was in a position where having brand deals and making an income to stay at home and continue to make content, I think it would continue to be relatable because it's stuff I already do now. Now, and the other thing, too, is where a lot of people get lost is then there's a lot of lies out there. There's a lot of people that are influencers for the wrong products. There's people that influence, they lie. They make up shit.
I'll tell you something gross that happens all the time at the brewery when it comes to I have a little jokingly hatred for influencers. So, and I'm not going to tell you the typical story of I want something free because I'm an influencer. That's not what I'm talking about. I will have people come in and they look around. I can see them taking pictures and I can see them doing the peace sign, all that kind of shit that they're doing in their little video. Then they come over, They order like a flight, which for people that don't know is like I work at a brewery and it's just like a couple samples and like a little tray and it looks really cool. They have all the different colors of the beer and they'll have this sitting in front of them for 10 minutes and they'll take pictures of them with them like taking little sips and stuff like that. And then when they leave, there's maybe a little bit touched in each one. Then they weren't even there to drink the beer. Yeah. They're not interested in the beer. They're not interested in this. They're just like, oh, this is kind of a trendy place. I'm going to come take my picture here and act like I was out for like a flight with my friend and we were going out to try beers. And I'm just like, oh God, one of two things, ladies. Either like just stop doing that. Like it's just stupid. Don't go to places you're not interested in. Or if you're going to go, genuinely try it and give me an honest reaction to what you're trying.
And then leave a Google review for the business. Like do something.
Yeah,
do the things that are actually going to help the business versus just, you know what I mean? Like to your point, like you're wasting time. You're lying at this point. You're creating all this content, which is nice, but
it just, the influencer thing just seems like such a shitty, like it seems so dumb to me. Like I get because influencing is like you want to be me. That's kind of like the vibe. And like I know that's part of like who your brain is. Like you've always been like, I want people to look at me and think, man, I wish I was her. And I get that in a way because like I know there's tons of people that look at me and think, wow, I wish I was him. I have no fucking clue why anyone would want to be me. But like I know there's tons of people that'll be like, yeah, like, well, you can do this, you can entertain, you can whatever, like sing, you're no problem, like stage fright, like it doesn't bug you, like stuff like that. But I'm like, it's just who I am. Like I can't influence someone to be who I am. Like I can influence the good, but like I hate that term. And I think even though you don't consciously think about what the term means, I know subconsciously that's your brain, that every time you're posting something, you're thinking someone's jealous. They're not me in this video. And that's like, I'm sure that's what a lot of influencers think.
I'm sure that's a lot of influencers think. I think for me, it's like up until like a few months ago, and every so often, obviously I post myself in content like within the videos. But a lot of like my friends and like coworkers and like just people that like follow me and like watch that stuff, a lot of them are always just like, oh, I loved it, but it'd be nice to see more of you.
Right.
So then, okay, in the last little bit, I've tried to been putting myself more into the video because people want to see my face, but it's always my point of view.
Right.
But especially if I'm reviewing a new cocktail place, a new cafe, and I'm like, for me, it's just genuinely like, I don't want you to be jealous. It's just like, I just want you to know like this really cool place I found, and also like I'm tagging the business, and I spent the product with my own money, like, you know, I'm genuinely supporting them, and then I leave a Google review. Like I make it so that it's in the benefit of the business, and that's the other thing too, because I've seen that a lot where like the influencers, they take up space.
Right.
And like they just in their whole demeanor, it's just so obvious where it's like, I think the coolest influencers, especially the ones I'll say in our own city, and I say influencers because they have like probably even over like 5,000 followers, 10,000 followers, which like to some influencers is like, oh, that's nothing. And I'm like, yeah, but when you live in I say small town, but even though our city's getting huge, but when I see someone with over 10,000 followers in our city, I consider them in my head an influencer. But then when I actually end up seeing them in public or I see their content, I'm like, wait, I didn't see you? So like you slipped in and out, like you were just a being of society that like took some videos, like you made that and I didn't even know you were there. Like, you know, those kind of people that I think like genuinely are supporting small business or like doing things for the right cause, or there's always a purpose of like, what is the person trying to gain? Like, what are you helping them with?
Right.
And that's why like for me, it's like, I'm helping you find a new experience by a new cafe or a new place to check out, or I'm showing you how I do an art project.
Right.
Or I do a DIY. Like I want someone to watch something and then engage by asking me questions or wanting to know more.
Right.
Or like, yeah, of course, there's the gratification of when they're like, where'd you get that skirt? Where'd you get this? Where'd you get that? Because they see it and they want it.
Well, one of the things that I think it sounds, just hear me out on this, okay? Because I'm going to sound like such a douchebag during this. So I think that you are great at social media. Mm-hmm. Like, I think there's so much cool that you do where I think you have this weird thing where I've done so much in entertaining and trying to sell myself to the public that I think if you ever got to the point where you were like, hi, it's, like that kind of thing where you were like being like the douchey side of that world.
I did recently.
I think, no. I'm saying like you leaned heavily into it. I think that just from my personality, that it'd be like, who the fuck do you think you are? And I would belittle it because I'm like, that's not you.
Yeah.
Stop it. Stop going down this road. And like, I would mock you because like, in the same way you mock me where like, I'm going to do this really risky art thing when it comes to fashion or something. And you're like, really? You're going to really die on that hill? That's the decision you're going to make right now?
Yeah.
And then it forces you to kind of double down because you're like, okay, Dan's going to think I'm an idiot for doing this.
Right.
So obviously he has a reason for thinking I'm an idiot. Am I an idiot?
Yeah. No, that makes sense. I struggle a lot. Like, it's so funny because I'm so natural just talking to you on the podcast. But I think when I actually have to talk to like a camera, even though like in my latest TikTok, I did do that where it was very much like I was struggling with like just the whole like dopamine fix and concentrating. And it was like, oh, I went to Winners because I needed that, but I wasn't able to do stuff around the house. Right. It was very relatable. I had tons of engagement of people relating to that.
Right, 100%.
But the whole time of making it, like while I was in my car, thankfully I just have like a little tripod. So I hit record while I'm like just parked or driving or whatever. But I'm like, I had to re-record it like 4 times because I felt like so unnatural. Like I didn't want to be like, hey guys, or like I wanted just to be like, I'm having a natural conversation. But I realized when you're actually on camera, it's so hard to do. Or I'm so self-critical that I look back and I'm like, oh, I didn't like this or I didn't like this.
Right.
But when I just film what I call like all the B-roll, all of like the content, and then if I want to do like a text or a voiceover on it, afterwards, after I've edited it, that comes much more natural to me.
Right, of course.
Because the ideas in my head, I envision all the clips, but I don't know what the fuck I'm going to say yet.
Right.
So then if I put it all together and I do a voiceover saying, come with me to blah, 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 and today we're doing this, and then I'm like talking about my experience after I've already lived it,
right,
it comes so much more natural to me.
Well, it's also like one of the good things about what you're doing is you've kind of adapted to from where you used to be when it came to social media to just a more modern day version of what I've always done, where like if I like see a band at the brewery where like I'm like, wow, they were really good and hardly anybody knows about these guys. Yeah. I know that there's so many people that go to my bar that follow me on social media that I'm going to like take some pictures and I'm going to be like an honest review of it. And it's like I barely post anything ever. Yeah. So like I'm just like I'm only going to post about stuff that I'm like, hey, you really should know about this.
And that's the other thing too that I don't think I would ever change. Like if for in some weird world, you know, I was able to make brand deals or become an influencer and have a following or make a living about making
one more time.
Make a living off of content, I would have a really hard time even if there was money involved, like a skincare company reached out, let's say. Right. I want you to make this video of this content, blah, blah, blah. Sure, I could come up with 1,000 great ideas, but my problem is I can never get behind it because I myself am shitty with skincare. So unless I'm willing to 100% commit to trying this product and saying I saw a difference, I didn't see a difference. Right. I also just know me in my like routine that I'm horrible for remembering to do my skincare every night. So skincare would never be in my realm of a brand deal. But if someone reached out and was like, hey, we sell these kinds of paint or markers or something. Right. Oh, you want me to sit down and color and talk about what I think about the product? Absolutely, I would do that. Like it would have to make sense for my lifestyle. Right. Because then you've lost the dopamine. There's no drive. I don't care.
I do love the fact that you're so narcissistic. You've already like had a very in-depth thought about what you would do with brand deals because they're obviously going to come at one point.
Because that's the whole other thing I've looked into, which I guess kind of takes you away from semi an influencer, but UGC. So like user-generated content. So that's typically what happens is you create. I mean, these people that do it though, they have like I think I could be wrong. Have very high like video editing skills, like they just know what they're doing, and they pitch to brands. Yeah. But then they're making they're not influencers, so they don't care if they even like the product. Right. Their whole purpose is they're getting paid to basically make an ad for this company. But with the way trends are going, they want it to feel natural, like you're just talking to the camera.
Well, that's why I think you get reached out to a lot. Like there's so many cool stories that I could bring up. Two I'm going to bring up. Is you went to a very cool coffee shop, I don't know, somewhere north, like up near Aurelia, I think. And it was like kind of like a horror, like it was like,
Yeah, it was like Halloween.
yeah.
Coffin Creek.
That's the one. So, like, you'd done a video for them, and, like, you weren't there being like, I do videos. Like, you just did this really cool video, and they were like, holy shit, that's really cool content. And they said, you know, they ended up, like,
I know, I didn't even
it
ask. I just tagged them.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Then, yeah.
But that kind of thing is, like, and then they reached out being like, hey, thank you so much. This is great. This
great
is
to
cool
see you.
content.
Yeah.
Those are great things. And then the other one is, like, when you went and saw fucking the Village People, and then you end up communicating with people that were in the Village People, and they're like, do you have any more content? Because you genuinely did a video that represented your experience.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't coming from like a, hey, I'm doing this for you guys. It was a, man, this was really fun. You managed to get everyone in the band. Like you, from a personal point of view, like as someone who's in a band, when someone does something like that
Yeah.
for you, you're like, wow, this is
I
really
got
cool.
clips
Thank
of
you
every
so much.
person individually. And
Yeah. So like stuff like that, like that's the kind of thing where you'll succeed because you genuinely are trying to portray how you're feeling about something there. You're not trying to create content out of nothing.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I think, but even right now, like I'm not taking it seriously. So like
No.
me on one day, I made 5 different TikToks out of kind of sort of the same thing, just different music. Yeah, sure. It's about being engaged and putting yourself out there. So I'll end up just posting a bunch of like drafts that I have
Yep.
that are saved. It might not be something I did in that day, but I'm constantly just always wanting to like make content.
Of course.
And kind of just, you know.
And it also gets your brain into a creative thing where you're just doing something that's...
Yeah, and I think I'm honestly talk about wanting to be an influencer, but also being influenced.
Yep.
And lately influenced by a lot of people in my own city. And I think I told you about this the other day, is there's a lady I came across on TikTok, and she's just been randomly posting videos saying like, hey, on this day I'm going to be at this coffee shop. You know, if you want to
you were
come.
telling me, yeah.
And it's just one of those things where this is nothing to do with social media. This is just more of my personal, I guess, goal I have to put myself out there is I kind of want to get over my fear of talking small talk and talking with strangers and just go do it the next time she posts a video. And to think that when she does it, if all the girls are okay with it, she'll like post a picture after and she'll say 7 girls came out today or 11 girls came out today. And it might be really, really small, but it's so cool to actually just engage with people in your own community.
And that's the one where she's like telling people, hey, I'm going to be at this coffee shop.
At this time.
Yep. Come out if you want to.
And it's a video, so you know what she looks like. So that's helping me get over my fears. Like, I know what she looks like. So if I walk into this coffee shop, I know who I'm looking for.
Right.
And then I go and I sit down with other women, and then maybe I end up finding out what jobs they work. Maybe it's like networking. Maybe it opens opportunities.
Right.
And so anyways, aside from that, I think right now it's like I'm being influenced by just also by putting content out there and being very like based in my city. I'm hoping that it gets to the point, even if it doesn't relate to money, that it relates to I'm out somewhere and someone recognizes me.
Right.
Right? Where it's just like, oh, I saw your video or this or that or whatever.
You want to be recognized for not your job at one point.
But I think that's what it is. It's like my identity is more than my job.
No, I agree. I'm just saying, but when you're
yes.
out, that's where people recognize you is from your job.
Also because like I went from being customer facing.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. That's what I'm talking
I want
about.
someone to know me for something other than my job, 100%.
Oh, so does it bug you when like we can't go anywhere without we being recognized?
Oh my God. When we're out and about walking down the street and they're just like, hey, it's the guy. And like they name where you work and this and that. I'm just like, jerk.
Or it's music.
Yeah. Like, and I think it's such a great feeling to just connect with people that know you from something or like, again, and I think it just goes back to, the actual comments and engagement on my videos of people being like, you got this. You're like, this is great. Or I love that. Or like, it's just so nice.
Yeah, but
I don't know. It's just, I don't know.
I stick out though. I look like a fucking cartoon character. You meet me once, you recognize, you remember me the rest of your fucking life. I
guess.
I'm just super cool too that everyone wants to be closer to me.
Yeah. I talk a lot and I just want to make money for that. Is that too much to ask? Like just.
The worst thing is though, like that I hate is someone will come up to me and they'll be like, oh man, how are you? And like, we'll have this great in-depth conversation and then we'll walk away and you'll be like, who was that? And I'm like, I have no fucking clue.
Right.
Like, I hate that feeling where like, it could just be someone I met at a bar, someone that I served once or whatever. But apparently the conversation we had meant so much to them. And I'm like,
So funny
I
because I'm
don't
so good
remember
with
these
faces,
people.
terrible with names. I'll remember a face and be like, I know I met you
I'm
here.
so
in this.
blind face.
Yeah, face blind.
Face blind. There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, that was interesting.
Don't trash me for wanting to be an influencer.
I 100% have not trashed you at any point during this.
No, I know you haven't. Just saying. Don't.
I've just been asking questions.
Don't be a hater.
100% wouldn't want to be blacklisted by your fans.
Blocked.
Okay. Goodbye. You've just listened to and finished Canada's own podcast Dialogue Over Drama. The amazing music we use in this episode is provided by Allegories with their song Pray, and Jesse James and the Medicine Show, I Think I Just Lost My Mind.
Nice.